Welcome to Toronto, mother. I've been running through the 6 with my woes. That's the 6, Toronto. What's up? Welcome to Toronto. Here we are in Dundas Square, okay? This is my hometown, kinda, for the moment. I'm Madison. Thank you for joining me in this video. Today I want to talk about something very, very interesting. Now, I chose the area of Dundas Square for a reason. That reason is there's lots of money here, lots of advertisements, lots of people spending money, lots of shops, etc., etc. And I thought it'd be a good area to talk about the idea of education, the education of millionaires, the education of successful people, and what are the 3 resources that you have if you have no money, all right? So 3 things that you can do and spend if you have no money to make money, all right? So what I'm gonna tell you is this. The information I wanna give you today is gonna be something you've never ever heard before, okay? And it's gonna be, if you don't have the success you want in your life right now, it's gonna be outside the paradigm of what you're used to. It's literally gonna be something brand new that kind of makes you feel a little uncomfortable when you hear it. You're like, oh, what the fuck? Who does this guy think he is? What is he, how is he telling me this? How does he get the nerve to tell me what he's about to tell me, okay? You're gonna have that reaction, and that's normal because what I'm gonna tell you is outside of your frame of reality, all right? It's essentially like I'm gonna try to describe color to somebody who's partly colorblind. You can partly understand what I'm telling you, but you don't have all the references for it to make sense yet, right? So you're not gonna fully understand it yet, but you will understand it in time. Now, what I wanna say is this. This is based on a video that I made a little while ago on my Snapchats actually, and the video is all about dinner, who you spend dinner with, who you spend time with, okay? There was a great book by the author Keith Ferranzi, who I always quote all the time, the former chief marketing officer of Starwood Hotels and W Hotels, and he says this. He says, you should never eat alone, okay? Now, it's not the actual dinner. It's not the eating part that I care so much about. Like, who cares that who you eat, like you're eating, who cares, right? It's not so much the food that you're eating, it's who you're eating with, right? It's not so much yourself, it's the company you keep around you, who you're around. Now, I didn't invent this myself. I learned this from a lot of successful people through osmosis, right? So I learned this by going out with successful people like millionaires, entrepreneurs, CEOs, etc. They'd bring me out, or people are just very successful in their area of expertise, sports, whatever. They'd bring me out to these dinners, and I just learned over and over and over and over again at these dinners. I'm like, wow, dinners aren't actually dinners. Like you hear how sometimes business people will expense a business dinner. I'm like, wow, dinners aren't actually dinners. They're learning environments. They're classrooms. Dinners are classrooms for successful people. And the more I saw this, the more I started to incorporate this into my own life, all right? And I appreciate it. Now, the idea of this is that you should spend $2,000 to $5,000 every single year on dinner. That's the idea, okay? Now, you may be saying to yourself, hey, Madison, I don't have $2,000. I don't have $5,000. I'm a broke college student. I'm barely paying my tuition. You might say to me, Madison, I'm in a really, really poor country right now. I'm in an underdeveloped country. I'm not in Canada with fucking like H&M lights and all this bullshit around, like spending money for no reason on electricity. I'm not in the same situation that you're in. I'm gonna say to you this. Listen, I understand what you're saying. I don't know your situation exactly. I'm not in your shoes. I haven't been you personally, but I understand where you're coming from, all right? I've been in horrible financial situations myself. I remember being so poor that I couldn't even pay rent. My rent was backed up like 2 months. I remember being so poor that I heard how Elon Musk, when he started PayPal, he ate hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, and oranges, like a balanced diet. Hot dogs for protein, macaroni for carbs, and oranges for vitamin C so he didn't get completely sick. And I embraced that and did it for 3 months, okay? He did it as a challenge so he can be a billionaire. I did it because I was fucking broke, all right? So I did that. I've been in situations where bailiffs were calling me and I was afraid to answer my phone, afraid to open the door. I've been in all kinds of situations, okay? You name it, I have been through it, all right? I've been through it. So there's not really anything that you have experienced that I have not experienced, okay? We're all human. They say the more universal the problem, the more honest it is, and the more everybody experiences it. We're not cut from different cloths. So the point is this, all right? You might be in a dire financial situation right now. I'm not telling you to go and spend $2,000 if you can't afford it. That's not what I'm telling you, okay? I'm not telling you to spend $20,000 if you can afford it. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm saying work within your means, but the idea is you want to start focusing on areas that make money. I don't want you to focus on areas that have lack. I want you to focus on areas of making money, or vice versa. Here's the other part. Focus on areas of success. Who do you want to spend your time with? Who do you want to spend time with that's going to affect you in a positive way and make you successful in that area that you want to be in? That's an honest question to ask yourself, right? It's not even about how much money you make. It's about areas of success and what you want out of your life, what your goals are. So what I want you to do is this, my friend. I want you to watch this video with a very open mind, okay? Keep an open mind and embrace delusion for a moment. Embrace the suspension of reality, how you know it right now. Embrace these new ideas and these new concepts. Realize that these are universal principles that are true. I've learned them from other people. It's not just me making it up. I've experienced it in my own life and now I'm sharing it. I'm sharing this with you because I want to see you do well, okay? Your success is my success and I have no success unless you have success, all right? So hope you enjoyed the video. Keep an open mind. We're gonna crack into it and I'll talk to you soon in a little bit. Thank you.
Okay, so if you're broke, you should spend $2,000 to $5,000 a year on dinner. I said this and everybody got mad at me when I said this, okay? I had like so many like anger comments. What do you mean if I'm broke, I should spend money on dinner? That makes no sense, okay? Again, there's different paradigms of thinking here. Different paradigms of thinking, okay? So on one level, if you're broke, you don't have money to spend on dinner, okay? But dinner is not actually about the dinner. If you hang out with any high profile business guys, you'll find that they do a lot of their deals over dinner, okay? I didn't learn it like in a classroom setting where Owen's like, okay, so what you see here is this is the student, this is how you communicate, and he like draws me something on a whiteboard. I learned everything about being in the club or over dinner. I met a lot of partners over dinner. We go to these restaurants like SLS or these nice places and you go out to dinner with a guy and he you know, you sit there for 2 hours and talk. And you learn a lot, you learn gems over dinner, okay? Because that's how these guys that are high profile people do it. They do it over dinner. They don't do it because they're too busy, right? That's the thing, the time being too busy again. They don't have time to sit down and explain something to you. They have to go eat. So the only time they can go eat and have a sit down moment and a chill moment is also when they're eating and explain something to you, right? So what you want to do is surround yourself with people that go to these restaurants. I don't mean the girl that like works at Aldo and she spends all her money on like bottle service at EFS. That's not what I mean. Okay? I don't mean that girl. I mean the actual business guy who's worth going to dinner with. If you know somebody, okay, if you know somebody that has, let's say, successful online business, a Shopify store or e-commerce store, spend $50 to take him to Mike's or Michael's or Ruth Chris or some shit like that. Take him there, buy him a steak and sit there and ask him how he had a Shopify store. One of my guys that works with me, my assistant, he has a website, he makes several $100s a day. Okay, I won't say how much he makes a lot. I'm surprised nobody's asked him to take him to dinner yet. This guy's financially independent. He can travel anywhere in the world he wants. He has financial freedom. But nobody's like, you know what, I should take this guy to dinner. Take him to dinner. Spend money to take him to dinner. It's a classroom, it's an education. He gets something out of it, and you get something out of it. So that's why I'm so strong about spending $2,000 to $5,000 a year, sorry, not a month, a year on dinner, because it's not the actual dinner, it's the education that you're getting. But when you're stuck in that paradigm of just losing, of maintaining, of brokenness, it's hard to get out of the paradigm of spending money to make money. You gotta spend something to make something. You gotta invest your time to get a great girl. There's no payoff of something for nothing. You gotta do it. Invest time to get a great girl. Invest money to make money. Lose something to get something. That's the paradigm. So you wanna change yourself from experience where you're around people who are losing money and they don't wanna spend money to being around people who are making money and spend money to make money. You know what I mean? I go with Greg, you guys know Greg from Kino Body? Yes, okay, so I go with Greg, I've been out with him 2 times lately, and we go to this place to have dinner, and he gets this, I think it's called Barbarians, you guys know that? Is it Barbarians? Okay, it's Barbarian Steakhouse, okay? It's downtown. And he rents out a room, and me and him and his 4 buddies have steak dinner, okay? But at the same time, what we did is we recorded the whole thing for a video. It's actually coming out a day in the life on his YouTube. So it's like we spent the money for the dinner, but guess what? He's gonna make a couple thousand off that video. So you gotta get into people who are in that paradigm, the ability to spend money, even if they don't have, spend money, spend time, spend effort intern with somebody, volunteer with somebody, be around somebody that's going to give you that information. You can help make money and build your own empire. So if you're stuck in that paradigm of just sucking and everything's going down for you, you want to just, if you don't have money to spend time. You can always spend something. If you don't have money, you can spend time, you can spend attention, and you can spend energy. Those are real things. Time, attention, and energy. You can spend those three things to get something back, all right? And start investing them. Start thinking about, who do you want to invest your time into? Where do you want to invest your time? What do you want to think about? What are the thoughts that you want to have in your head? What's your attention going to go to? Do you want to have attention to thoughts that haven't been helping you so far? Or do you want to pay attention to new thoughts and installing new thoughts that can help you? And what's the energy you're going to put into stuff? Are you going to keep putting energy into that girl who every time you ask her out doesn't appreciate it? Are you going to keep putting energy into that person who always drags you down? Are you going to keep putting any energy into that hobby that you have that gives you no return and you're still unsatisfied, but you do it 2 or 3 hours a day? You can always spend time, attention, and energy, okay?
Thank you for coming back. Welcome back. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I want to break it down a little bit. Go back to this idea. When you're in a dire situation, you almost feel like you're trapped. A lot of times when you have a lot of pressure on yourself, you're like, I feel trapped. When I think of a situation where maybe it's you're in school, and you have an exam coming up, and you're like, shit, it's 2 days before the exam. I haven't really studied. I haven't really prepared for it. What am I going to do with myself? Or maybe you feel like you want to go on, you have no time to go on dates. You're like, shit, my life is so crazy right now. I'd love to find a great girl that I can date and settle down with, but I just don't have the energy to go through with it. It could also be a situation where you just literally are working 2 jobs, right? A lot of people in Toronto, the rent is crazy here, and a lot of people work 2 jobs. Because they work 2 jobs, they unfortunately can't have a lot of time for extracurricular activities. Now, anytime you're in one of those situations, realize the capital that you have is not going to be money. It's going to be your attention, your focus, and your emotional kind of like investment, your connection to these things you're doing, right? So you want to always take a moment to realize how you're spending those areas. You might even want to do an audit of your life. I still do this actually every once in a while. So even today, right? Today I work on this product called Boss, this program called Boss. You probably heard about it. It's about being the man you always wanted to be, that guys are jealous of, and that women want to be with, right? How to like unleash your full potential as a human being and achieve everything you want, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I do this program called Boss, and I realized, you know what? I'm just all over the place. A lot of times going into managing personal situations with assistants. A lot of times it's trying to manage dates with girls that I'm not even really that into. A lot of times it's going into correspondence from internal teams. A lot of times going to managing an Airbnb for when I'm away. A lot of times going into managing music production that I'm trying to get for the program. A lot of things is a lot of times going to meal preparation, is getting food to my house so that I can go to the gym and have a timely, like everything, right? I'm trying to manage all these areas. And I gotta say, wow, hold on a second, Madison, take a deep breath, calm the fuck down, think about it for a second. Where are you spending all of your attention, okay? That's the first thing. Where's all my attention going into? Now I realize all my attention is going to things that might not be the most useful. If I don't have the things that I want and I feel stressed out and exhausted or frustrated about it, that means I'm putting attention into the wrong areas. So I need to take a moment and prioritize them. I think it was Stephen Covey in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm not sure if I got this right. If I have this wrong, let me know in the comments below. But he says, do a quadrant of your life, okay? So let's say everything in your life can be labeled in 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 being the most urgent, or the most highest priority, 2 being second priority, 3 being not so much, and 4 can be done whenever. Now, the mistake is for us as human beings, we take items that are number 3 and 4 and we label them urgent as number 1, but really they're not. And so in this clusterfuck where we feel like we're pushed and pulled in all different directions and it just wears us down. So every once in a while, you might find yourself having to do an audit of your life and say, are there areas of my life that I think are super important and I'm treating them like they're urgent and I'm putting all of my attention into them, all of my focus into them, and they're just wearing me down, but I don't have what I want. And you might have to realign your attention. It's absolutely normal. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. A lot of times I find myself emotionally invested in situations, and then I gotta take my time and do that audit and assign my emotions somewhere else, all right? That's gonna happen as well when you're trying to be successful in an area, because let's take sports, for example. If you are in sports and you're training for your professional sport, your amateur sport, and you're training heart and soul into it, you might not have any emotional energy, okay, for a relationship, a bitchy girlfriend or a bitchy boyfriend. You might not have that energy left to deal with that issue at the end of the day. You might say, I'm emotionally fucking drained from practicing the sport. And you might have to make that decision. Say, do I want to keep investing my energy into those people that I don't know if the relationship's really worth it anymore, it's not working for them, not working for me, the payout isn't there anymore, or do I want to invest my energy into the sport, which is my future and is my vision, my dream, my passion? You have to make those decisions, okay? So the most valuable thing that you have, again, if you don't have what you want, is that energy, okay? That emotional energy, that focus and that attention. Those are your undervalued assets, so to speak, okay? Those are things that are so valuable to you in your life and they're undervalued. And if you value them properly and you assign them properly, you're gonna see miraculous results in your life. Not even, I'd say, in a week, but in a day or two. It's really incredible, really amazing, because once you also do that, girls, family, friends, people will recognize what you're doing, and you don't have to explain it to them, but they'll recognize it and they'll treat you accordingly. They'll treat you better as well, right? We train people how to treat us. So that's it for now, all right? As always, you hear the sirens coming before they knock me out of here. I want to say thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. You know, I love doing these videos. I love that we get to do them together. I love that we get to spend so much time together. I love that, you know, you're able to take this information and apply it. Please, please apply this. Don't just watch these for information. Don't just watch these for entertainment purposes. Apply the information that you have, all right?